So Senate members have gotten together to tell Joe Biden that they will fight against his plan to join the United Nations gun control and registration process. So let's talk about this. But real quick before we jump into this video, if you think the United Nations has no place telling the United States what it should do as far as our Second Amendment rights, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. I also want to thank one of the main supporters of the channel, which is Save Your Equipment. Save Your Equipment has some of my favorite range bags out on the market. I love their dual rifle bag and I take it with me every time I go to the range. So if you're in the market for something like that, I highly recommend you check out Save Your Equipment, and thank you Save Your Equipment for supporting this channel. Also want to let you know that this content is powered by the Firearms Policy Coalition. So head on over to joinfpc.org to help support the Second Amendment cause. Thank you again, Firearms Policy Coalition, for supporting this channel. So in this video, we will be talking about a letter sent by senators to Biden and his administration requesting that they clarify his remarks on him wanting to join the UN Arms Treaty, which would result in an international gun registration. Now, if you're not familiar with what's going on with this UN Arms Treaty, let me give you some quick background on this issue. So Biden and his administration are looking to enter into the UN Arms Treaty, which requires an international gun registry. The treaty will require all arms that Americans buy from overseas makers to be tracked in a list that would be shared with other nations that are also part of that treaty. To meet that goal, a global gun registry would also be created and maintained for over 10 years. In this registry, every American gun owner will be listed if they purchased a firearm which was imported into the US from another country that is a member of the treaty. The treaty states in Article 5, Section 2 that each state party shall establish and maintain a national control system, including a national control list, in order to implement the provisions of this treaty. The treaty then goes on to say in Article 2, Section 4 that the US will have to provide that list to the UN and make the list available to other nations, and also is encouraged to make the list publicly available. So the US will have to make the list of those people who purchase firearms that came from outside other nations, make it available to other nations, and also potentially make it available to the public at large. And this would be a worldwide public registry that would be available for essentially anyone in the world to look at that list and see what firearms you as an American own if you purchased that firearm, or that firearm that you purchased at one point was in another nation that is also in this treaty. And the information that would be included on this international gun registry would be things like the quantity, the value, the make and model of the firearm, and also you, the end user, who you are, the firearms you have, maybe even your name, address. We don't know what all the information would be, but you as the end user, that is one of the requirements that's going to have to be on this list. So as you can see, this is a large-scale international gun registry that would make your information available not just to those individuals in the US, but also to other nations as well. In response to this, US senators joined together to write a letter to the Biden administration. The letter reads, "Dear President Biden, we write to you today seeking clarification on your administration's position on the United Nations Arms Trade Treaty, or the ATT. Recent remarks by Deputy Director for Conventional Arms Threat Reduction, William Malazan, seem to indicate your intention to rejoin this misguided and overbearing international treaty. At the 7th Conference of States Parties to the Arms Trade Treaty, the Deputy Director stated, the United States has long supported strong and effective national controls on the international transfer of conventional arms, and the Arms Trade Treaty is an important tool for promoting those controls internationally. We find this statement to be most concerning and contrary to the current and historical position of the United States. When President Obama signed the ATT in 2013, he was met with strong bipartisan opposition and failed to garner the approval of the Senate, to which the Constitution invests the sole power to approve international treaties. As in 2013, we remain concerned by the many troubling aspects of the ATT and its impacts on American sovereignty and constitutional protections. The vague language of the ATT makes American commitments uncertain, the most concerning of which is the lack of protections for lawful gun ownership, which threatens the right afforded to Americans under the Second Amendment. Further, with an amendment process that only requires a 3/4 vote for approval, more intrusive provisions could be applied in the future, legally obligating the United States to comply with international commitments without consent from the Senate. Under any circumstance, it is inconceivable that the United States would consider subjecting our constitutional right to bear arms to international oversight and interference. For these reasons, we request clarification on your intentions regarding this international accord. Moreover, we urge you to reject the ATT. However, should you have plans otherwise, we know we will unequivocally oppose its ratification in the Senate. Thank you for your attention to our concerns, and we look forward to hearing your response. Sincerely, and it is signed by, I believe, about 37 senators. So like we discussed in a prior video, this UN treaty would directly violate our Second Amendment rights here in the US, an attempt to make us subject to international oversight. This is just another backdoor form of gun control, and this time you have the Biden administration trying to achieve backdoor gun control by using international law. So please contact your representatives, let them know that you do not agree with what the US would do if they joined in on this treaty, and you do not agree with international oversight of our Second Amendment rights. Again, writing your representatives really could impact things. Your House representatives, your Senate representatives, let them know that you support opposition to this joining of the treaty. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Also, if you like this video and like support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm or fuel Al Gore's rhythm. It adds fuel to his jet and signals to YouTube that you guys see value in this video, in this type of two-way news, and then it helps push it to more people. So thank you so much to everybody who's liked, commented, subscribed, who's hit the notification bell. You guys are impacting this channel. You're impacting these videos and helping me to get this news out to more people. So thank you so much for doing that. And if you don't have a comment in mind, just comment down below that you're commenting to fuel the algorithm, and I really appreciate that. So as always, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And never forget, this nation was built by armed scholars, and this nation will be maintained by armed scholars.